We can't really go anywhere these days. Can't fly, that's for sure. But on this island, Mindoro, a fella can still get some miles in on his trusty scooter. So, I took a drive down to the end of the island. It's about 200 kilometers and a 5-day trip for me. I left the palm-lined driveway of the home, and the frangipani is just coming into bloom. Village traffic is really nothing, so I was soon on the coast heading south. The first section is the best, hills and curves. The road rises high above the sea. So, are you excited yet? And one soon comes across our waterfall, Camera Falls. No Niagara, but it is pretty. We leave that municipality, Puerto, and some of these turns are true switchbacks. Mountains drop away soon enough, and the flatter agricultural land appears. And about now, a fella is thirsty and hungry. This is chicken curry with a lot of bone chips. We've made it to Calapan, the provincial capital. Here the rice fields begin, and bananas. The first day's objective is Pinamalayan. Rice fields are a lovely green. This rice is not mature yet, and it lives in water. A rice farmer's tidy home. After harvest by machine, the rice is hauled to a drying plot before the milling process. It's quite flat country down to Pinamalayan, a quiet fishing town on the Sibuyan Sea. It's offshore here in 1987, about 10:30 at night, that the world's greatest peacetime maritime disaster unfolded. The ferry, the MV Doña Paz, collided with a small oil tanker. Both ships caught fire and sank. The ferry was quite overloaded. 4,386 souls perished. There were 25 survivors. Found a nice hotel for the night, about $100 Canadian. Towels, of course, tied in knots. We crossed the Bongabong River. Good place to wash clothes and scooters. The green hills of Bongabong. This is old man's speed. And on down the coast to the destination, Bulalacao. another fishing town, and a ferry terminal to the islands to the south. We can't cross the border into the neighboring province of Occidental Mindoro without paperwork these days, so Bulalacao is the end of the road for Pete. I did take a side trip down to Balatasan, a pretty and sleepy little village. Fishing boats idle during the day. I guess they go out at night. And the next day, I drove into the interior, where it's much drier. But a big banana plantation. And an engineering misadventure. The Buddha is said to have found enlightenment under a fig tree. In an earlier life, he may have practiced his trade under this grand tree. Not many trees survive the saw in these parts. And so we head home. Past the bougainvillea, past the coconut palm plantation, the ornamental roadside gardens, through some small towns, past the church's stairway to heaven, and we come across another green field. And what's this? Ah, onions, baby. And further down the road, watermelons for sale. 3 for $1. Soon back to the palm-lined hills of Puerto and peaceful shorelines. The bike was tired. The ocean unrelenting, and my ass was sore. Stay tuned for the next great motorcycle adventure with Pete.